Hello friends, it's Tonton from Set948. Welcome to a new guide. Today I want to talk about a small thing. I was talking to some people and people keep asking me, what do you do with the star on my heroes? Should they be 4 stars? Should they be 3 stars? Should they be 5 stars? And I watch many guides on it, and basically the guideline is often get your hero to 4 stars for rally joiner because you want to share the first expedition skill, right? So when you join a rally, or whether defense or attacking rally, the first 4 people joining will share that expedition skill, right? So the first 4 people joining, so you can control which skills are shared in the rally by the first 4 people joining. And to have a skill level 5, you need to be able to have your hero to 4 stars. That's just the way it works, right? So you get 1, 2, 3, 4. That's roughly 400 and something shards, right? And when maxing a hero is actually 1065, I think. So the difference between 4 and 5 stars is a lot. Is really a lot. So one mistake people do, and I cannot really show you here because I did not make it, is like they do all heroes of all generation and they put them to 2, 3, 4 star randomly and they don't have a strategy. That's the first mistake. Then the second, when you move away from that mistakes, what should you do, right? First, it's not about getting the right heroes, but it's quite simple. Which hero to get is you get every time the one with the lucky wheel. So you start with Zinman. Zinman you can stop 3 stars. It's the first generation is shorter generation, and you need a lot of gems for VIP at the beginning. So you could stick to 3 stars to unlock your level 4 skill for that one particularly. That's why you want Zinman. Building cost and speed up, right? And construction speed. So you build faster and it costs less to build. So that really be important for your progression toward Furnace 30. So you start with Zinman. Zinman you can go 3 stars. I went 4 stars, but it's not really needed. Then you have Flint. So you have marksman, you have infantry. So you go Flint. Then you go Mia, so Lancers. So then the rotation starts again. Then it's Lean, Generation 4 Marksman. Then guess what? Gen 5 is Infantry, right? Then Gen 6 is, guess what? Is, where is he? Is René, so it's Lancer. So it's a rotation between Marksman, Infantry, Lancer. Marksman, Infantry, Lancer. So you want to get that hero all the time. And I'll talk about 4 or 5 stars in a bit. Then what you want to do is you want to collect enough stars, so enough general shards, to get to a hero in one generation that you want extra. So because you want 5 hero in exploration, 5 hero in arenas, you likely want, and in that setup you want 2 marksmen, 2 infantry, 1 lancer. Every time you invest shard in another hero, it should be a marksman or an infantry. So for me, I went for an extra infantry. I went for generation 4 extra infantry. Extra gen 6, I went for an extra hero. I went for a marksman, right? So I had the shards collected. As you can see, my gen 4, 5, 6 are all maxed, when my gen 3, 4, 3 to 1 are not maxed. So I kind of skipped Gen 1, 2, 3. I collected a lot of general mythic shards and I invested a bit later. That's that's for another video if you want to have such a strategy, but that's something you could do as well, is to kind of focus somewhere else at the beginning in the game and then get stronger like Gen 4 or 5. So you have these zeros. So you have so you do Zinman, Flint, Mia, Lin, Hector, etc. René, and then from time to time you pick an extra hero. So in Gen 2 I took a marksman because Gen 2 Alonso is very good in arena, for example, and exploration. Gen 3 Greg is very good as well, so I took Greg as well. So you could get some extra heroes along the way. If you look at mine, they are all 4 stars at least. the ones that are not 4 stars are the ones that I did not invest in, and the game gave me shards later, right? So these I did not invest in at all, and the game gave me shards later. So basically they were shard 0. Because when you are Gen 5, you get shards of Gen 3 in Intel Mission. So that's how my Logan is 3 stars. It's because that the Intel Mission I got. So because we are Gen 6, I'm getting Gen 4 shards in Intel Mission. So that's why my Rena is kind of, I'm able to improve her. But you want to skip. So the amount of shards, you have 2 to 3 options. I will try to make this video very, very quick because there's not much to say, but I think it's an important one to understand. So the advice often is 4 stars, so you can be a good rally joiner and you can share a level 5 skill. So that's a good advice. It's not a bad advice. What I will suggest you to do is a bit different. Is to either go 4.3 stars or maxed out. The issue, if you have a lot of hero 4 stars, you'll have a lot of weak heroes. The difference between 4 stars and maxed is a lot, because the last shard, the last little fragments you do, they give you so much more, right? Basically doing 4 shards. 4 shards shards. I forgot how it's called now, but whatever. 4 stars, sorry, not shards, 4 stars. Doing 4 stars plus 3 on the last one give you 200%, but 1 extra little shards give you 10%. So these, you get a lot more than 10 upgrade, right? It's 6, 12, 18, 24. So 24 upgrade plus 3 here gave you 200, while you get 10%. So these, they cost 100 shards actually. But you get a lot more stats. So that's why these are important. Between a hero that's 4 stars and a hero that's maxed, the stats are very different. And if I try to compare, let's compare Gen 3. So I got a hero in Gen 3 that's 3 stars. It's giving me 138, let's call it, right? And you can look quickly here, 27k health and stuff. So let's look for a hero in Gen 3 that's close to max, and I'm not sure I got one. I actually don't, because Gen 3 I did not. So let's look at Gen 4, because I have max heroes in Gen 4. So it's not nearly 3 stars yet, it's kind of halfway technically, but it's giving me 150%, right? So if I look at 4 stars on a maxed hero and I remove gear, that's 220% more. So that's a lot more. It's a lot more of these, right, as well. So that's a big difference. So why would you go beyond 4 stars? So you have stronger heroes at the time. So it's, for me, I'd rather have 1 or 2 strong heroes per generation that I will keep for a while. And so I can invest 2, 3, 4 level of widgets with Frosty Fortune, with Tundra Trading Station. It was to invest a few levels of widgets, basically. Then having 3 heroes every generation that are between star 2 and 4. They don't have level 5 skills, they are weak, they are pointless, and you got a lot of heroes to manage. You change hero all the time, you don't know what they do. I'd rather be clear on what are my strong heroes and what are my strong marches. And if you do 4.3 stars, basically, if you look at roughly what happens, and these are good examples, right? These heroes, I went for Gen 2, and 3, I went for 4 star with the wheel. So Mia here, and Flint. And you see that the game gave me, and it's weird why I got so little for Mia, but the game gave me more or less 2 to 3 shards worth. So it's from Intel Mission you will get 200, 300 shards basically. So you can do 2 of these fragments. I'm kind of calling everything shards, but I guess you get me. Like these little fragments, I forgot how they are called in the game. 4-star tier 2 or tiers, whatever. So the game gives you 2 to 300. So while you are Gen 5, through the 80 days of Gen 5, you will get 200 to 300 of these. So if you have your hero to 4.3 star with the lucky wheel, for example, which means very likely you have to spend 120 times in SVS and 60 times, 70 times, I think the reward is. Let me double check because we still have the wheel. I think you want to unlock the 70 chest, right? You want to unlock this one. So you spin 70 times on King of Icefield, for example, and you spin 120 times on SVS. So you will have a bit of extra gem as a free-to-play. As a small spender, you will have quite a few extra gems, and as a medium to big spender, you will have a lot more gems. But that's something you can manage in terms of gems, right? And so if you spin that much, one time 120, whichever, you do King of Icefield or you do SVS, then the next one you do 70, then the next one you do 120, then the next time you do 70, you will more or less end up at 4.3. If you do 120 every time, you will get close to max. You might need a few extra, you might need 100 to 0 of your own shards, depending on your luck a bit, and depending on the wheels you have. Sometimes you have one more wheel in some generation, so it's a lot easier, so sometimes you have a bit extra. But if you spend 120 times, you will get the hero very close to maxed. If you spend 70 times on every event, you will get to 4 stars, and if you split between 170 120 and 70, you will get 4.3. And the idea to get 4.3 is because you get these 300s, or 4.4 to be safe, you will get these 300s from Intel Mission later, so you will have maxed heroes. Why you have maxed heroes? There are 2 generations below you, so they are not that useful. But when you do Canyon, they will be decent. When you do Labyrinth, they will be decent. And more importantly, and what I find really interesting for your own progression is when you do Tundra Trading Station, which is not live right now, so I cannot show you, but you can trade shards of hero that are maxed, right? So for me, if I look at my shards, we had it last week, so I don't have a lot, but I will be able to trade all the lean shards, all the Amos shard. I have Wayne that is max. I will be able to trade all the Wayne shards, and I'll get a lot more during SVS and stuff. So all of these extra shards I'll be able to trade. And the mythic shards, these ones, they give a lot of points. So that means you might be able to get Mithril from Tundra Trading Station, and if not Mithril, you will be able to buy out everything else if you do that well. You will be able to buy the 10 widgets. For the current generation, you will be able to buy the XP component, the Essence Stone, the pet stuff, the charm stuff. So for me, right now with the thing rolling that way, because I start to have we are Gen 6, so Intel Mission give me Gen 4 shards, and I have 2 heroes max in Gen 4. Plus I got some, on Molly from the keys, plus, at some point I will have some of the zero maxed as well. I'm more or less making 25k points in Tundra Trading Station. I think I'm closer to 30 even now. So that means I can buy the whole store except widgets, except the previous generation widget and except Mithril, but everything else I can buy out nearly. And that's really helped me. So I find it, and also it allows me to have current heroes that are maxed, so that are decently strong. So then I face players in Foundry, in Canyon, in Arena. I'm not too weak. I'm not a whale, I'm not super strong, but I'm not too weak. So going to 4.4 to 4.3 stars, maybe 4.2 the minimum, instead of 4 stars will really help you. I think it's really a small difference. It will allow you to have less heroes in total. But even if you are low spend, free to play, you are not super active, which I do on my farm. On my farm, I did not do bear for more than half of the time I'm playing my farm. I'm doing it right now because it's in the main alliance, so it's the same time as my main, so I can just do both at once. But if it was in a farm alliance, at another time, I would not do it. So I don't do bear for most of the time on my farm. I don't do SVS a lot. I don't do Frostfire Mine. I don't do Foundry. I don't do Canyon on my farm. And every 3 generations, I have enough of these shards from Mercenary Prestige with any other event I complete, so I can fully maxed a hero every 3 generations. So I do the wheel, and let's say Gen 4, I want what will be? So Gen 6, you have René, is is a Lancer, and you want Gen 6 as a very good marksman. So you could take when Gen 7, I think Elite is a good infantry as well. So you could technically go there, basically. And you could take every 3 generations, you can take a hero, max them out, spend a bit on widgets. When I mean spend is like using Tundra Trading Station and Frosty Fortune to get their widgets to level 2 or 3. That's enough. You don't need to go beyond that. You want level 1 to unlock that skill for Arena and Exploration. You want level 2 to increase that if you are part of your main march. So 5% lethality, right? It's a big buff because that's multiplicative. So if you have 1000, it's not giving you 1005 lethality, it's giving you 1050 lethality. If you have 2000 lethality, it's giving you 2100 lethality. And so it's a 5%, but it's multiplicative, it's not additive. So that's a very big buff, and that's why whales are, and I think this one is multiplicative. Actually, I'm not sure about this one. This one is for sure. I need to double check. Maybe I'm actually having a doubt right now. Because you have 2 and one of them, at least one of them is multiplicative, because that will be a lot, 40% multiplicative. It could be, but that will be really, really, really strong. But you want to unlock that to having the 2 skills, and you could go widget level 3 to get the exploration and arena skill level 2, and it's a bit stronger. So if you want to clear a bit more levels in your exploration, if you want to be a bit stronger in your arena, that could be a way to go about it. But level 2 widget is okay, level 3 is decent, you don't need to go below. To go above, sorry. So that's really the idea. So my suggestion will be basically to go 4.3-ish, 4.4, 4.2 stars, but more 4.3, 4.4 on every hero you invest in. So have enough shards. So you know that 4.4 is 860 shards, something like that. So because the last levels are 100 shards, right? So if you want to do a 4.3, it's 765, I think. So, roughly, if you have at the beginning of a generation, if you have like 600, maybe 550, maybe 500, you know that within that generation, you will get enough shards to invest fully. So you want to accumulate these general shards until you get 500-600, and then you decide, okay, I'll get an infantry, I'll get a marksman. You might want to, depending on what you care to do, if you care more to do exploration or arena, then you have to pick certain heroes. If you call some rallies sometime for your alliance, like on Turret, on Sunfire Castle or stuff, you might want to have another hero. So the choice of the hero might change based on what you do in the game. But that's the idea. My suggestion, if you're a very active player like I am, if you're maybe a tiny spender, but if you rank in Alliance Mobilization, if you rank in any other events, I suggest you go 5 stars, basically. And that's what I've been doing since Generation 4. I go 5 stars. So I spin the wheel 120 times every event, which you can do as a free-to-play. But that means you will barely have gems to invest in VIP. You won't be very much able to progress your VIP if you spin 120 times on King of Icefield, SVS Prep, All of Chief, that kind of event. So that's why you might want to do 70 one event, 120, so you can still progress your VIP. But if you tiny spender and you play effectively, you follow my guide and you play well and you see that you can, I'll go 5 stars. It's not needed, but it will make you able to fight infantry a bit more, in canyon a bit more, and be more useful. It's not crazy. You are not a whale. You cannot take a whale on and fight against a whale, but it's really worth it between the fighting power plus the Tundra Trading Station. So that's kind of my take on it. Go between, don't invest in all heroes for 2 or 3 or 4 stars. That's the biggest mistake you can make. That's kind of a beginner new mistake. Then pick some heroes, go for the lucky wheel, plus pick other infantry and other marksmen. If your alliance decide to go on certain hero, like Nora could be used for to be a defending hero. Because of that, some alliance decide to use Nora instead of Patrick or Sergei or someone else. You could go 4-star on her, right? Or remember that because it is what matters is only the first people joining a rally, meaning that you need to make sure that if you want to use Nora, to make sure that the first 4 people joining a rally are having Nora. So if you have 4 Nora in your alliance, then you just let these people join the rally, because the rally is often 5 minutes, so you have time. And then when these people are inside the rally, you can fill with other heroes eventually. But if your alliance tell you, okay, we want to use a defensive hero, we want to use a lancer, Gen 4, then Gen 5, then maybe spend 400 shards on it. That's why you want to have 400, 500, 600 all the time, either to invest on the hero you want or pick one that is useful for alliance. I know it's hard to save. For me, it's a second nature now. It was very hard at the beginning, but now it's not a problem at all, and that really allows you to be strong, right? And to get a lot of things in Tundra Training Station, which is a monthly event, which give a lot of little things that, are very useful. So that's the way I play, that's the way I think. Some people will disagree. If you are very casual, it might not be for you, because you might want to stick to 4 stars is enough. But for sure, do not do 2 stars, 3 stars. Like, your hero are weak and crap. Do not choose 2 or 3 stars. Like, go for 4 stars so you unlock level 5 skills. Like, skills are doing a lot in these games. And that's why you want Fire Crystal level as well, because the troop power and your troop skills are very important. Your troop have stats, that's important. But they also have skills, right? So the first one is increased damage to lancers, 10%, and a chance defense against lancers, and these are the ones that are really important when you start to be Fire Crystal 3 and 5, I think. Oh, it's weird because I'm Fire Crystal 8, so that might be Fire Crystal... I forgot which one unlock when. But Fire Crystal energy attached to the surface makes the shield impenetrable, and grant its a 30.5% chance of offsetting 36 damage. So that's a lot, right? So you have skills on your troop, you have skill on your heroes, so you want higher level troop, you want higher level heroes, and that's really important. But consider that heroes are being obsolete at some point. So that's why as well, you don't want to spend money here. If you spend money, a tiny bit, spend it on hero gear that follows. Yeah, I just made a video about it. You can, chief gear, chief charms, research, like things that are, sticking long term. Widgets, they're obsolete as well. You cannot transfer widgets. So that's kind of all I have to say. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.